I recently remarked how pre-2008 Hollywood no longer exists in the same way that the Republican Party no longer exists after Donald Trump. The old Hollywood system does not exist anymore. Even with comic book film fatigue, studios, even Disney still want interconnected universes that click with audiences. They use the MCU model. The MCU model is the current Hollywood film model, whether we like it or not. Predator Badlands, the 9th Predator film, would be a good film if it featured original characters. Unfortunately, it is a Disneyfied Predator film shot through an MCU creative prism and aimed toward kids. It's the first PG-13 Predator film. A family-friendly Predator film. If this was not a Predator film, I might half like it. Unfortunately, this film tries to over-explain Yautja lore, which takes away from the mystery of the alien trophy hunters. This film humanizes the Predator and makes audiences relate and root for the Predator as the protagonist instead of the villain. This film makes the Predator helpless, in need of learning from others, gullible, and worse, family-friendly. The first two Predator films were testosterone-driven horror action films. The Predator was an unknowable alien that traveled worlds to hunt beings for sport. I even really like 2010's Predators with Adrian Brody, which kept the creative tone of the first two Predator films. The Predator is supposed to be rated R and heavy on the horror and action. The Predator films make the viewer uncomfortable and wonder, what would you do if a sentient, ruthless alien began hunting you for sport, unwilling to stop until either you or it was deleted? The Predator was about showing, not telling the story. We learned about the Predator culture via its mannerisms, actions, and unspoken intent. We did not learn a lot, but we learned they were apex hunters that cared very little for anything else. Predator Badlands is a Disney film that wants you to like, root, and cheer for the Predator like it was an MCU hero. Maybe this is progress. Maybe I've gotten too old. The first Predator film came out in 1987. Or maybe, just maybe, Disney has ruined the Predator and Aliens. The IPs. I must note that Predator and Alien used to be owned by Fox, and Alien and the Predators met before in films and comics, but Disney bought Fox in 2019, and now Disney owns both IPs. To explain to you why I don't like this film, there will be spoilers ahead, so you have your warning. The main character, Dek, is a runt predator. Also known as the Yautja, a predator is usually 8 feet tall. Dek is much shorter and smaller, so like the Spartans in the film 300, a runt is usually sacrificed for the benefit of the species. Dek's father wants to unalive Dek, but tells his older brother to do it. Older brother won't do it, so the father unalives older brother, and Dek escapes to a hostile planet with dangerous animals. The inciting incident here, this scene is interesting, but it wants us to believe the Yautja are like human nuclear families instead of focusing on his own culture. I kind of like that the Yautja are speaking their own language in the beginning, and there are English subtitles. If only this film went the route of Mel Gibson's Apocalypto and had the film in the Yautja language, and the brothers were on a deadly planet where only one of them would make it. But still, that would break the logic. If Dek was a runt, there's no reason for him to be an adult in this film, but whatever. That is not what happens in this film. Dek crash lands on a planet with deadly plants and animals. He wants to unalive a beast that even scares predators to impress his father, who wants to unalive him at this point so much so he can have peace and feel proud, but whatever. Dek comes across a Weyland-Yutani android that's been torn in half, and the top half is alive, and it's Thea, played by Elle Fanning. Thea becomes Dek's older sister, surrogate mother type figure. She thinks for him, gives him morals, and helps the Predator survive the Death Planet. Thea understands the Yautja language and culture and knows how to manipulate Dek. She talks to him in his own language, which is weird because no one's supposed to know it. Dek is basically a tool with no agency of his own for Thea to use to accomplish her goals. The great beast in a Weyland-Yutani hunting party causes more conflict for Dek and Thea. Also, Dek and Thea adopt a cute woodland creature as a pet. Dek only accomplishes his goals with the help of Thea, who understands Yautja culture more than Dek does. It's obvious the writers of this film never watched the early Predator films. Anyway, Dek and Thea survive their conflicts, and the ending sets up a sequel which focuses on the female Yautja culture. This is a family-friendly Predator film, and it's hard to recommend for anyone. Visit pfadvice.com. pfadvice.com is a personal finance and comic book entertainment site. I write weekly columns there. We cover comic book reviews, comic book entertainment and news, collectibles, personal finance advice, and more. pfadvice.com is owned by District Media. I want to sincerely thank them for sponsoring this video. Actor Demetrius Schuster Koloa Matangi does his best as Dek. Elle Fanning is a great actress. I really like the dual role she had here as Thea and the evil Weyland-Yutani android Tessa. However, that is the only good I have to say. Predator Badlands takes all the mystery, horror, and culture away from the Yautja and makes them into relatable humans. The Predator is a relatable human, so what good is he as a ruthless alien trophy hunter? This film is not about an alien trophy hunter. It is about how a Weyland-Yutani android teaches a runt predator how to be a caring human being. No thanks. The world does not need a PG-13 Predator film. If this was another film without the Predator or Aliens IP, I might dig it. But all it does is water down the best aspects of Predator and Alien and turns it into a mediocre MCU action comedy film. 5 out of 10. What did you think? Did you see this film? Comment below. Thanks for watching.